In 1932, the Australian government declared war on birds. Not metaphorically. They deployed soldiers with machine guns against emus. The emus won. To understand how Australia lost a war to birds, we need to go back to 1918. After World War I, Australia promised its veterans something special: free land in Western Australia. A reward for their service, they cleared the land, planted wheat, and built new lives far from everything they knew. Then the Great Depression hit. Wheat prices collapsed. These veterans were already struggling to survive, but the worst was still coming. And it had feathers. Every year, roughly 20,000 emus migrated across Western Australia in search of food and water. In 1932, that migration route went directly through the veterans' wheat farms. The emus ate everything. They flattened fences. They destroyed crops. They showed absolutely no remorse. The desperate farmers sent a petition to the government. They needed help. Any help. The government's solution? Deploy the military. Enter Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery. The man chosen to fight the birds. He was given 2 Lewis guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. For birds. November the 2nd, 1932. Operation Emu begins. They even brought a newsreel film crew. They were that confident this would be easy. At Campion, they spotted a mob of 50 emus, the perfect first target. They waited for the emus to cluster together for maximum damage. The plan was perfect. They opened fire, and the guns immediately jammed. Before they could clear the jam, the emus scattered, all 50 of them, in 50 different directions. Major Meredith would later note that the emus seemed to be using deliberate guerrilla tactics. They mounted the gun on a truck and tried to chase them across the outback. The outback destroyed the trucks before they could destroy the emus. And when they did hit an emu, the things refused to die. Meredith issued a statement that should have ended all debate. Quote, "If we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world. The emus had split into small squads, distributed, impossible to target en masse." The soldiers were exhausted, running low on ammunition, and deeply embarrassed. Then the press found out. Headlines across Australia mocked the military. The entire country was laughing. In Parliament, an opposition MP asked if the emus would be awarded medals for their victory. The Minister of Defense became permanently known as the Minister of the Emu War. He despised it. On December 10th, after 12 days, Major Meredith withdrew his forces. Final tally, 2,500 emus confirmed dead. 17,500 alive, thriving, and still on the farms. Meanwhile, the emus were still there, eating everything, absolutely unbothered. Under continued pressure, the government launched a second campaign. Different tactics, same result. The emus used the exact same dispersal tactics. The military had not adapted. The emus did not need to. Eventually, the farmers received what they had actually needed all along: government-funded fences. The emus became symbols of Australian resilience. Their story has been told for nearly 100 years. The story spread worldwide. Journalists could not decide whether to admire the emus or question the military. Here's what none of them had prepared for. Emus are genuinely formidable animals, nearly 50 kilometers per hour, legs that can kick through timber, and an apparent immunity to discouragement. Some historians believe the emus used terrain deliberately to break line of sight. Whether true or not, it worked. Australia has since passed laws protecting emus. It is now illegal to harm one without a permit. The Great Emu War remains one of the most extraordinary events in military history. A genuine David and Goliath story. except David was a 6-foot bird with attitude. So the next time someone tells you humans are the dominant species on this planet, remind them. In 1932, the Australian military deployed machine guns against birds and lost. Somewhere in military history, Major Meredith is still trying to explain his battle reports. History is full of unlikely heroes. In 1932, they had feathers. If this is the kind of history that makes you stop scrolling, there's more where this came from. See you in the next one.